Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and
standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Good evening and welcome to the JPB Clio Cup Season 2 Round 3 live from Sebring International Club Circuit, sponsored by Simstickers. Go check them out at www.simstickers.co.uk. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined once again in the booth by Mark Fletcher here at this epic short track of this famous airfield built circuit. And what an epic circuit it is. We've got 11 corners on the racetrack as well. We start off on the back straight, which is after the hairpin leading off down Fangio and into Cunningham. And then we will be going round the 10, 11 corners that we've got to back once again here as well. And let's have a look at the current championship standings at this moment in time. In the pros, it is Dan Mould out in front on 316 points, with Carl Ridley in second, Sam Van Holst third, Parker Steele in fourth, Stephen Bones fifth, Lee Deemer sixth, Sam Smith seventh, Pete Van Gaal eighth, Duncan Moraine ninth, Jono Johnson 10th, Carl Hardy 11th, Roger Morton 12th, Carl Jacklett 13th, Alan McCain on 14th, Pete Newman 15th, Morgan Butler 16th, Wayne Palmer 17th, and Craig Jones is in 18th place. Then beyond that, we've got Martin Sampson in 19th. In the AM Championships currently at the moment, on the top of the screen is Derek Crowber in first on 333 with Danny Kazart on 302. Mark Chappell on 300, then Ollie Ricks on 282, then Rob Williams on 264. Andy Littler in 6th, Daniel Lewis 7th, Chris Dixon 8th, Stuart Gibbons 9th, Edward Parfitt is there in 10th, Sir Alan Toon 11th, Mick Barry 12th, John Higgins Sr. in 13th, Paul Godden 14th, Charles Kellerman 15th, Jason Haddington 16th, and Steve Hansford down in 17th. In the Pro Teams Championship, it's win it or bin it out in front ahead of Team Goldwyn Motorsport with Team SRL in 3rd, iRace Esports in 4th, Pure Sims 5th, Momo 6th, Safeguard by Results 7th, and Results Clothing in 8th. Below that, in the AMS, you've got DHD Simsport out in front with Blade Designs, JPB Racing in 3rd, Spyro by Result 4th, Workguard by Result 5th, Optical Green 6th, Simstickers Sim Life in 7th, Optical Red 8th, Triple P Racing 9th, Oven Blossom Racing 10th, Higgins Motorsport is down in 11th, and Air Smart Racing down in 12th. Right, guys, you've listened to me talk enough at the moment. Let's bring in Mark into the booth. Mark, good evening, young sir. How are you?
Good evening, yeah, very well. Still hot and stuffy here in the UK, but yeah, fantastic race evening. It should be here at the Sebring Club. A tight, twisty little track this. A lot of corners in not a big surface area, and yeah, it surprised me a little bit because the start and finish straight is not where we expect it at Sebring. Obviously, we have the 12-hour race here earlier in the season, but yeah, these little Clios are doing the club circuit this evening.
They definitely are, and I think, to be honest, from the way the layout is and the way it looks, it does look quite a little fun circuit to go driving around here, Mark. You've done a couple of laps on it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of places to pass. Into the hairpin is obviously a famous one for everybody. And because these cars are so nimble and so agile, into Tower is potentially one where we're going to see people dive through. I can imagine in the reverse grids, that's where there's going to be a passing place, and obviously into Cunningham's the corner before. Obviously these cars are sort of 5th gear heading into there, shift down a couple of gears, but yeah, it should be some decent passing. So yeah, hopefully the reverse grids are going to be good fun to watch this evening.
Yeah, they definitely should be. We've got 31 cars out on track here currently. A mixture of Pro and AMS. Pros are the red, the AMS are the yellow. Okay, just all a heads up on which way round they actually are. And currently Pete Newman is in first for the pros, and Derek Crowber is sitting in 10th overall, but is leading the AMS here as well. It's been an exciting season. The first 2 racetracks we've had have brought some great racing. Mark, do we think, though, 31 cars around a very short club circuit is going to cause a few problems?
I wouldn't say, yeah, maybe. It's definitely going to test the racecraft of these guys. I expect, as you can see, obviously Newman's a little bit out in front, but you know, a second covers pretty much what, 3 to 23, so there's 20 Clios within the space of a second round a track that isn't very long with a lot of corners. So yeah, it's definitely going to show us some decent racing and some decent overtakes.
Definitely will, and obviously Sebring's loved by many. Of course, we don't have that, almost that first half of Sebring here. We've got the second half, and then we turn left into turn 6, where normally we're running all the way down to what is effectively, I think, is like turn 9 or 10 on that run down into Le Mans and the last corner at Sebring. Of course, completely missing out. Another epic short track that I just do not believe it gets picked enough. As you see, the whole season has been short tracks here as well, and one that I think is just going to be absolutely incredible with the way the season will be and the way the season goes here as well. Some epic short tracks coming up, and some epic short tracks that we have been to already. I think that's one thing that we can agree on, Mark, is the fact that Clio's definitely designed for more short tracks. And with the likes of, obviously, Snetterton coming up, Summit Point, Suzuka West, Twin West for round 7, Knockhill, I believe that's actually been at the Knockhill reverse circuit, Watkins Glen short track, and round 10, which is the Brands Hatch Indy. That's some great racetracks there.
Yeah, like you say, most of these tracks probably you could get a go-kart round as well. So, yeah, fantastic season. Obviously, we've had some great rounds already so far, but yeah, good layouts for try and promote some good racing.
Yeah, especially when we're going to the 200 layout, which is going to be definitely exciting for these guys here to be able to contend with. And of course, we've got the Watkins Glen International Classic, which is out the chicane, but we do the long right-hander around the outer loop to join into what is the second to last corner of Watkins as well. So there is some incredible circuits still to come here, and you can get yourselves involved if you want to, as there is still a couple of spaces, I believe, left available. I know we've got some drivers that are not here, but we've got 31 out of the 40 that have signed up for this, all on the racetrack together. And the fact that, you know, we've still got 31 drivers, Mark, is incredible, really, because you think about some series that they drop off as the season goes on, but last season I think our average was 32 across the whole of the season. You know, for these guys to commit to that is just absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, we've seen for season 2 can either be everybody comes back or everybody disappears, and it's fantastic to see that 90% of people have come back, and we've added more people into this. Obviously, we didn't see Kyle Ridley last year. Stephen Burns, we didn't see him either. So that's the new Win It and Bin It team that are currently leading the championship. And then you've got the likes of Sam Smith, Lee Deemer. These are all new faces to us for season 2, which is fantastic to see that people have obviously watched the first season, saw how much fun we were having up here and how good the racing was out there, and thought, you know what, I fancy a bit of that. So yeah, always nice to get new people into the series.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. The technical issues in the middle. But we are out on qualifying now. 10 minutes of qualifying for these guys to go racing and getting a good time in here. And as you can see, it is open qualifying here, Mark. And I think open qualifying, well, it brings a different ball game altogether.
Yeah, we're on board with Pete Newman as he flew out of the pits there. Obviously, he was fastest in practice, which gives him the #1 spot for qualifying. So he literally, as soon as that timer was up, he was gone straight out of the pits. He wants to get a lap in because obviously traffic is going to be massive around here. They're going to need to get a little bit of space between them. We'll see that as they come out of the hairpin. We'll probably see people slowing down, trying to give a bit of space. But these Clios love the draft. As we're on board with Kyle Jacquelet. We see him moving over to the right hand side, just trying to free up some space, and he's going to pull back in front of Lee Deemer, I think that is.
I believe so. So, all honesty, are we expecting Newman to run away with this, do we think? Is he going to be able to stay out in front and do a stunning job where he basically does end up running away with it, Mark? Or do we think there's going to be a little bit more competition involved in it here for some of the guys as well? Because obviously we've got the likes of Dan Mould, Parker Steele, you know, they're all quick guys, Sam Smith as well. So there's a good few guys that could give Pete a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in the first couple of races. No one's really had their own way. Obviously, Newman, the season 1 championship, had a great opening defence of his title. Obviously, missing round number 1, came back for round number 2 last week with 2 seconds and a first. I think Newman was trying to recall back. But yeah, you know, Kyle Ridley, he was fast last week. Just had a little bit of bad luck. Sam Smith, that guy can't get by any luck at the minute. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to change throughout the season. And yeah, Dan Mould and Jono Johnson as well. Those two have been going well together. They've definitely come out swinging for this season. They were competitive last year, but as you can see, 0.08 of a second splits Newman and Mould. Sam Smith puts it into P3. And Maya Sampson and Derek Crowder, fantastic first lap. Your top AM sits at P6 overall as the times are still coming in.
Yeah, they are coming rolling in currently at the moment. We will give that a time to settle down. With 31 drivers, guys, you are going to see times thick and fast here appearing on your left-hand side timing tower. Okay, who do we think, Mark, is going to take race 1?
Kyle Ridley.
Oh, blimey. Really?
Yeah, I think we're going to see an attempted overtake from Mould, which is going to put Ridley into the lead.
Well, I hope
That's
not,
what I'm
'cause
going with.
Dan Mould was going to be my pick.
Oh,
Right, all right.
well, where do you think Dan Mould's going to finish?
I reckon Dan Mould's going to finish first.
Okay.
In race 1. We won't get into race 2 and all that yet, Mark, because we'll proper overdo ourselves there if we're thinking that far ahead.
Oh no, Dan Mould onto pole.
Yeah. Oh, Mould. Oh, there you go. Bargain.
Sold!
Oh.
Sold, Mr. Mould.
Yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for me. Happy days. But,
So two drivers breaking into the 12s. We did see Newman in the 12s in practice, but yeah, Dan Mould and Pete Newman separated by absolutely nothing.
I think that's going to be the interesting thing. With Carl Hardy up there as well. Crowther is in 4th in the overalls, but obviously leading the AMs at the moment. Crowther seems to be incredibly quick, and saying, as I say that, Steve Burns has just got through there as well. Mark Chappell down in 22nd place. Well, Mark has set a time on the board and placed himself up into 23rd. So there we go. Sam Smith in 7th is setting the time in Towers Green. He's setting his quali bars green across the board currently at the moment. What is he going to be able to do as he's into that last final? Well, it seems weird calling it the start-finish straight there, Mark, doesn't it, really, considering we're halfway what we are known as down the back straight.
Yeah, and look at that. Derek Crowther, fastest of everybody in the middle sector, but can't back it up on in the final sector, goes yellow. So, guys, if you haven't seen this before, this will tell us how the guys are getting on in qualifying. Yellow means they're not beating their personal bests. Green is they are beating their personal best. And purple is fastest of them all. Dan Mould sends himself back to the pits. Obviously, they're a little bit worried by tyre wear. I expect them to come back out again. But, yeah, we saw Sam Smith using Dan Mould as a bit of a slipstream buddy there. So I wonder if he'll return the favour to Dan when he comes back out. Obviously, you can see Dan just back out of the pits coming onto his outlap. Yeah, Sam going round very nicely indeed. As who's that going off? That's Parker Steele. What's he parking there for?
Not entirely
That's
sure.
Not the greatest idea.
No, but you can't park there, sir. Not going to lie.
You can't.
Here as well, Sam Smith has got a purple in that middle sector. Let's see if he can finish it off as effectively. He's coming now down into well, he's past the hairpin at 10, so he's up that start-finish straight again. Round turn 11 he goes, and then across the line. What is he going to be able to do here for Smith? Is he going to be able to jump up any further than what he already is? 112.927, breaks to 112s, not enough to get onto the front row here. So we've still got Dan Mould and Pete Newman with Sam Smith, Carl Hardy, Carl Ridley here, mate. Not doing so well for you currently.
No, warming up is what Kyle is doing. I'm sure it is. Yeah, the man from Dannon are obviously a long way from home over in the States here. So yeah, maybe he's just still getting acclimatised. Maybe he didn't fly over so early. But yeah, I think he'll be there or thereabouts. We'll see what he's doing sort of the next time by as you jump on board with Chris Barnes. Chris Barnes going well, 2 personal bests in sector 1 and 2, and does go quicker just about. Does he?
I believe he's
That
riding
last
around
sector then.
with Rob Williams there. Not quite sure what happened to Rob's decals, whether or not they've taken a divert, because they have, I believe, changed their livery here for the Triple P. Now we've got Chris Barnes in series this week as well. Just joined in. This is during the week. There we go. Chris Barnes on track here as well. We're in that moment of time at about 2 minutes 20 on the clock, where things have started to settle down once more here in this qualifying session here, Mark. There seems to be the sort of the customary drop-off, isn't it, round about this time of times?
Yeah, I don't know if it's track temp or everybody's got their as we see contact there. That was between it was a Triple P car. 29. Who we got running the 29 car?
It's got to be
That's
Jono
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming together there. Obviously, Jono was on a bit of a quick lap, wanted to send it to the inside. Whether the Rob Williams didn't see him there, But yeah, a little collision we'll call it. But Mould trying to fly here, but he's caught traffic here, giving a little flash of the lights. So we'll have to see what Mould's doing. I'll be surprised if he's going quicker. No one, as you said, seems to be going better in their times at the minute. Everybody's going yellow.
Newman's got some greens on the board. He's coming round up past the hairpin on that run up through turn 11 and then across the start-finish line very, very shortly. There is an improvement from Newman. It's not purples across the board, but he is going to... Oh, he didn't. 1:12.9. He lost it in the last sector. And unfortunately for Newman, he's now in second place. No real improvements from the guys at the bottom of your screen. Carl Jacklett, Daniel Lewis, Charles Kellerman. Edward Parfitt's in there as well. He's got improvement on the middle sector. He's got improvement on the final sector and puts himself up into 23rd, which is currently 7th overall there. As I almost thought he was going to run into Carl Jacklett there. Not ideal, but there we go. Oh, that's Charles Kellerman actually. In the optical green, taking a very wide line there as well. So Parker Steele has also got some improvements on the board in Sector 1, not so much in Sector 2. Or is he going to improve in Sector 3? Well, that's going to be an off-track, so that's going to be a no improvements there for Parker Steele this time around here, Mark, as well. 20 seconds of qualifying here, Mark. You know, have we seen the main protagonists where the protagonists need to be? You know, is that the type of people that we're expecting at the top of the timing sheet every single week?
Yeah, I mean, the only person that hasn't, you know, obviously where they are in the championship is Danny Kazar. It looks like he struggled a little bit through qualifying, sort of 7/10 off the pace. That's not like Danny at all, but yeah, we'll see what happens when they go into race number 1. But Dan Mould sticks it on pole. A fantastic lap there ahead of Pure Sims Pete Newman, our Series 1 champion. Sam Smith starts 3rd in front of Carl Hardy. Derek Crowther, your top amateur for Blade Designs Esports, starts 5th. Stephen Burns is 6th. Carl Ridley for Win It and Bin It starts 6th and 7th. Sam Van Orst starts 8th. Stuart Gibbons starts 9th. Martin Simpson starts 10th. Parker Still in 11th. Duncan Moraz in 12th. And Jono Johnson all the way down in 13th, just in front of Excite Energy's Lee Deemer. And then we've got Wayne Palmer for Simstickers, Sim Life in front of our P3 in Danny Kazar. And then Alan McCain and Carl Jackalett finish 17th and 18th. And then as we head on down, we see Roger Morton for JPB Racing in front of all the rest of the AMs. David Ayres, Daniel Lewis, Charles Kellerman, Edward Parfitt, Paul Godden, Mark Chappell, Chris Dixon, Jason Haddington, Andy Littler, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes. And then rounding out, Sir Alan Toon.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
I'm here all evening.
Are you?
I hope.
I'm sure you are, Mark. I'm sure you are. There we go. That was Mark reading the grid for this week as well. Welcome in, everybody. Phil, SE Creations, Katie Ames, Toxic Munchkin, Mad John, and Milky1660. Welcome in to the broadcast as well. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, here. Don't forget, 3 20-minute heats. Heat 2 is a top 10 reverse. Heat 3 is a top 20 reverse. So let's see how these guys all got on. The lights are going to be coming on very, very shortly. There they go. 3, 4, 5. And here we go on to this very tight run down into Cunningham. Who's going to get it off the line? It looks like Dan Mould. It looks like McCain and Morton are already just leaving the pit lane on the run down here, but it is Dan Mould, Pete Newman, Sam Smith. Has everybody got through further back as well? They're all nicely through here at the same time, and that's a great start for some of these people here, Mark, because they've all made it through. Oh, Newman's off. Newman's off and Mould's off. Together.
Oh dear. Suboptimal. That is. I'm going to guess we've tried to go for an inside move. And there's carnage up in front. I think that's Jackalett is running down the order as well. So yeah, rough opening lap here for Newman and Mould. This is going to be a massive, massive recovery drive now. They both know what's going to go on. So what happens here? So we're heading into Tower Corner. Mould is on the inside. Newman tries to force the inside. Oh, just side to side contact there. Dan Mould in the middle of the circuit. Newman tried to go around the outside, and yeah, they both came together.
Yeah, there goes Martin Sampson and Parker Steele. Carl Jacklet at the moment, he's on the grass into one of the iRacing guys, the iRace guys, I should say, as well. And believe it or not, Mark, let's put Sam Smith out in front currently at the moment here, and he is currently leading the way. Carl Hardy has also had an incident. He looked like he survived his incident, mind you, and has managed to hold on. Steve Burns battling away with Sam Van Olst in the middle of the pack here with 5th and 6th. Both of these guys up 1 and 2 places respectively. And it is getting all very tight. Jono Johnson. We said about Jono Johnson, didn't we, Mark? How racy he's looking this season. He looks like he's been well on the practice path here as old Jono, because he's looking incredibly quick.
Yeah, it seems to struggle with qualifying, but yeah, his racecraft for himself and Dan Mould this year was fantastic. Very, very good indeed. He's already up 5 places and we're only on lap number 2, so that's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, Sam Smith out front. As I said, he's quick. He's not had the luck this year, but Sam is going to want to leave Derek Crowther behind. Obviously, Derek Crowther, our top amateur driver, he's got a massive gap now back to Mr. Gibbons as well, which is going to be what he will love to see. Obviously, Blade Designs 1 and 2 at the minute, but they're a long way between each other as they come across the line again. Smith, what does he do this time? By 1:13.1, puts 4 tenths on Crowther. Smith is looking to check out here. He doesn't want any of these boys trying to catch him. Obviously, these 2 main protagonists, Mould and Newman, having an instant in the first lap. They're trying to come back through the field. Dan Mould currently P20. Pete Newman.
Oh no! They are trouble. He's losing it. Is he going to lose it? That's David Ayres. Oh, there's another one. Who was that? Was Paul Godden? Oh, nice 360.
That looks a little bit damaged.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened to Godden now. I wonder if he got scared by the fact that there was... Oh, he tried to go around David Ayres. Onto the grass. Ayres, well, we've got to have a look at this. If you're going to see somebody go off track, you might as well do it like this, Mr. Ayres. There was contact there with Mark Chappell. Round he goes. He unfortunately goes into Daniel Lewis. Then he's just sliding like Bambi on ice. Oh, and he's unfortunately just, there's nowhere really for him to go. And I think that's the problem when he's coming back off track there, Mark. There was just nowhere for him to go on the rejoin.
No, and then obviously Paul Godden got spooked with the fact that there was a car stopped in the middle of the racetrack. And just had an incident all by himself, unfortunately. But Paul will be flying back for race number 2. We normally see him up the front of the grid in race number 3. Do we see Mr. Godden up there? But Jono Johnson, that time by the fastest lap. Not seen anybody break into the 13s yet. But Jono Johnson getting as close as he can with a 13 flat.
And Mark Chappell here being chased down by Edward Parfitt once more here. And before you ask questions in YouTube, yes, is my son. My son, and he's been driver training with our very own Mark Fletcher this evening, Mark.
Yeah, we've been trying to give him a couple of hints, and to be fair, he's doing really blooming well at the minute. It's interesting to watch people's driving styles. I do quite like it, and obviously we know Edward's brand new to iRacing. It's his first league, and look who he's got behind him, the fierce chasing Pete Newman. Has Dan Mould had another incident back down in 26th place? So Mould's night is not going as it is. We're watching Newman climbing all over the back of that JPB Racing car. Is Newman going to send it around the outside? I think that's what's going to happen here.
No, he's going to. Oh, he did close the door as well, but then he outbraked himself.
Watching too much in the mirrors, but good effort. Good effort to hold Pete Newman off, I have to say. As we head on board with Sam Horse, and who's that behind him? That's Duncan, the 2 Goldwing Motorsport drivers here. Obviously a little gap here now in front of them into Carl Hardy, so we're not just going to want to get onto the back of Hardy in front of him. They matched times just in front, so as you can see the graphic on the left hand side, that shows us that the gap between Hardy and Van Orst is just over 2 seconds. And if we're having a look where we see the white numbers, that's where it's getting pretty close. As we can see, Newman assuming that he's going to go past Chappell at some point.
I really want to see what happened to Dan Mould here. I've got a funny feeling there may have been an incident further up. Oh no, it went off. Or down into the hairpin. Oh, he just locks it out, breaks himself. And unfortunately goes off there as well. I think this is one of the things with Dan Mould that we've seen so often. When he's in an early mistake like he was earlier on, I'm not saying it was a mistake, well, basically somebody made a mistake and they come together. But when he's in that early situations, Mark, with issues arising, he seems to have a rotten rest of the race. It's like it just repeats and repeats and repeats for him, doesn't it? And he just needs to sort of almost take a big deep breath and settle down, because we know Dan, he drives with his heart on his steering wheel, you know, and everything is there. And if you're probably watching his broadcast about now, if he is broadcasting, you can guarantee he was probably screaming his head off at what just went on. But he just needs to take a breather, doesn't he? Because it just seems to breed incidents after the mistakes that he makes.
Yeah, it's almost like in NASCAR, safety cars lead on to safety cars, and yeah, it's so easy to get sort of caught up in it. I'm the same. I scream and shout and yeah, all of that. But yeah, we've got to remember that it's a game at the end of the day, and he's just got to come back out. He's going to struggle from where he is to get into the reverse grid for race number 2. We might see Dan Mould at the head of the field, I'd say, for race number 3. But yeah, the other person that's on a recovery drive, Pete Newman, now up to 16th place. So he's going to try and get onto the back of Mr. Kellerman. So yeah, we want Newman in the top 10, that's for sure, as we ride on board here with Steve Burns for Team Win It and Bin It. These guys currently leading the team championship, and he has the ever-charging Jono Johnson back behind him. Jono's going to want to look through. He's been here for a couple of laps, so he's sizing him up. But yeah, I'd expect Jono to get through. I'm going to say in the chicane, or even the hairpin.
Well, you're optimistic, I think. I think Steve Burns is a little bit more of a wily old fox than that. And I reckon he's going to come over this side and he's going to cover that inside line off and run down that white line. He's going to hug that white line, I reckon, and cover off that inside. If he leaves the door open, he's going to do it. If he needs to make the move, he's made that move there. There he goes, just covers off Jono Johnson. The two Goldwing boys of Sam Van Olst and Duncan Murray are working together up in front. Carl Hardy is battling away with Carl Ridley. They are side by side coming down through the start-finish. Well, I want to say a straight, but it ain't, it's a curve. And then coming down into what is effectively Cunningham, which will be their second corner on the racetrack. Are they going to make it through? They're leaning on each other. They're bumping on each other. They've still got all of their bits. But that could have been a lot worse there, Mark. There was a lot of leaning and rubbing, shall we say.
Yeah, trying to go around the outside there is always risky, as we see Jono Johnson, the now racecraft master, heading up the inside there at Stephen Burns. That's a fantastic move. That's one of the places where I thought that we will see passes. So yeah, Jono Johnson up 6 places, and obviously Duncan in front of him also up 6 places. So these boys are trying to get through the field as fast as they can. But as we can see out front, still lapping fastest in the field at the minute is Sam Smith. So let's not forget about him. He's doing well. Derek Crowther, our lead AM, obviously he is well out, still in front of Team Gibbons Racing. It is Blade Designs 1 and 2 here in the AM Championship for race number 1.
Yeah, it definitely is. Carl Hardy's in the mix here as well. He's obviously been battling with Carl Ridley. Further down the order, we've got Charles Kellerman with Pete Newman, and also that is Carl Jacquelet, but I believe Jacquelet is out of sync at the moment. I don't believe that's actually Jacquelet fighting for position here. Now, there looks like little Robert Williams, that Dan Mould, Chris Barnes and David Ayres, they're having a nice little freeway down here in 21, 22 and 23 at the moment. Mould's just cleared them. Next up though for Mould, unfortunately, is the man from Northern Ireland of Alan McCain from iRace Esports. That's going to be a different position altogether. As you can see, David Ayres has got no bumper on his car currently. He has lost that in his little incident he had earlier on. And once more, it's going to be seeing how these Triple P boys work together and whether or not they can maintain this currently here down in these guys' positions. It's going to be tough holding off David Ayres, but I think they should be all right. Where Carl Hardy, well, might not be all right, battling away with Carl Ridley here.
Yeah, I expect Carl Ridley to send it up the inside here. He's not going to, but yeah, he's definitely quick. He's had some decent results so far this year. A bit like Sam Smith, just not had, as we say, the rub of the green here in iRacing, but the gap just over 0.2 of a second here. The two We've got Carl and Kyle, so that's going to be a fun one to happen. But yeah, Kyle just biding his time, I think. We're just over halfway through this race. There's a massive lockup, I think, from Derek Crowther in front. But yeah, stays on the race circuit. And where are we going to see Kyle go for this move? There's a potential that he'll do it into here. Hardy defends early, stopping that move, so that won't be the corner that he comes past. As we ride on board here with Jono Johnson.
Yeah, I thought he was having a go at Duncan Murray there. He looked like he was crawling all over him as it was coming out of Collier and into Tower. Didn't manage to make his move, but Jono Johnson is looking really racy. So I'm expecting him to be up and about. Well, I reckon if he can get past Duncan Murray, I couldn't see him clearing Sam Van Olster. Can't usher Duncan off that inside line. Duncan's doing what basically Steve Burns did. Moves over. You've got to get right over, because if you leave Jono Johnson a little ounce of room, I don't know if he's going to be able to make this run the outside. We can see here Duncan Murray's going to go in. Jono Johnson's going to try to cut back now on that run out and up through Fangio they go once more here. 8 minutes remaining here, Mark, and I've got to be honest, Jono Johnson is looking speedy. Have we lost Mark Fletcher?
No, I'm here.
Oh, hello, Mark. You all right?
Yeah, not a clue.
Not a clue. Okie dokie. Edward Parfitt battling away with Chappell. Edward on the left-hand side. Chappell's on, well, they've swapped now, on the right and the left. Chappell's going to go in. He's gone in way too hot. Oh, is he going to be? There's going to be a slight bit of contact here now. They've also got Alan McCain and Dan Mould coming up behind these two AMs who are battling away. Once more here as well as they're on that run out into Tower. How is this one going to turn out for these two AMs here, Mark? Because you've got the likes of Dan Mould and Alan McCain behind you. What are you going to do?
Hope that they can get through cleanly. I mean, obviously we're on board here with Parfitt and he's having a great battle, but yeah, McCain's going to want to come through, Dan's going to want to come through, shows the inside there, and that's going to give, I think, Alan McCain the run, so he's going to have to hold the inside, but Dan Mould climbing all over the back of everybody here. So Parfitt sticks to the inside, run that middle curve, don't leave that door open. That's exactly what he's done, and that's going to leave the door wide open for Alan McCain there.
That's a bit of a late move there. I've got to say, if you're going to make your move, you've got to make it a little bit earlier than that. Cannot be chopping in so late on that one, but they're having a stellar battle. Is Dan Mould going to be able to wave his way through here as well? On that run up into through turn one and into turn two. Gone left now. Where has Mould gone? Is Mould going to go the other side? He has. Is he going to send it up the inside? I would probably back off about now and just let Mould go, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree. But he obviously needs to realise that Chappell's got all this to come as well. So is he going to fight back at Dan Mould? This would be fantastic to see. Obviously, Judges is breaking. Oh, slight lock up there. Yeah, not watching the guy in front, which is a shame. But hopefully he's going to get Chappell back when obviously Alan and Dan are going to have to get past him at some point. But yeah, fantastic battle here. These boys trying to, on a recovery drive, is Mould. Newman obviously still on the recovery drive, not making massive progress, as that's up the inside there for Alan McCain. This is going to be a done deal before they get to the hairpin.
Oh no, I can see this, Mark.
Dan Mould making it 3 wide on the outside. He's backing out of that. He's saying, after you boys. And that is Alan McCain up there. A little love tap there from Chappell, and Mould's going to try and get the cut back, and that might be a slowdown for Dan Mould. That was a lot of inside curb. Mark Chappell pulls over to the left-hand side and says, after you boys, you can have that. I don't want to be anywhere near you two. But fantastic move there from Alan McCain. Set that up all the way out of the Rabbit Bend and into the hairpin. That was fantastic.
Yeah, he definitely did there as well. There's nice battles in the middle here as well. We have got the likes of Lee Deemer, Danny Kazar, Wayne Palmer, Roger Morton and Pete Newman all involved in this one as we're on board with Danny Kazar. There's Deemer in front, Morton's in there as well. Morton's putting in some good old laps here as well. Up 6 on the day, 5 in class already here for Roger Morton, Mark. It seems to be another one that's sort of come on strong, shall we say, over the last week.
Yeah, and especially with Newman behind him as well. Obviously, we know how fast Pete Newman is. He's going to want to get past Roger Morton as fast as he can. Is that going to happen? Who only knows? But yeah, Newman needs to get up into P number 10, put himself on the grid for race number 2 as he leaves the door open, I think, a little bit too much for Stuart Gibbons. I'm surprised he didn't go for that. obviously Gibbon knows how fast Newman is, so maybe backed out of it, but now he's under pressure from Mr. Hellerman, I think that is as well. Yeah, it is.
It is here. Danny Kazar under pressure from Wayne Palmer. And I remember I was talking to Paul Godden last week. He said that obviously he's teamed up with Wayne this season. That is one of the win it or bin it's. I believe that might be Stephen Burns, who looked like he may have had a slowdown there. And Wayne's come out and said he's never had so much fun racing as he has done this season in this league as well. And he's had an absolutely epic season. However, he has just gone in hot there. That's allowed Roger Morton to be banging along. He's going to get a push from Pete Newman. Over the curb they go. They're going to be too wide. Rounding at the right-hander here of turn 8. How is this one going to work? Are they going to manage it? Newman's just shoving Wayne Palmer along there. He's given Palmer a little bit of a love tap all the way down this straight. Morton's trying to keep his nose in here, Mark. Surely this is only going to go one way when they reach this hairpin.
Yeah, who's latest on the brakes? And it's Wayne Palmer there, but Newman heading around the outside of Morton. Morton's just going to open the steering out, make him use all of the circuit, and then it's going to be who can get in the draft of Wayne Palmer in front. It looks like it's Newman. Obviously that Pure Sims esports car flying at the inside there of the JPB Clio as well. So that's Newman up into P12 or P13 even. So still some work here left to do with 3 minutes on the clock. Sam Smith leads by 4.2 seconds ahead of Derek Crowther. So that's a fantastic result for those two. Maybe the luck is changing here for Smith in the Clio Championship, which is good to see.
Yeah, Alan McCain has been off track as well, unfortunately for Alan. He's not had a good run of it. Steve Burns, where have you gone? Oh, he's parked it there. What's happened to Burnsy here? That's Dima in front. He locks up. Is he going to be just on? Oh, no, he's just going around Dima on the inside and then just misses his braking point, goes in too deep, and unfortunately goes off there as well. Danny Kazar also had a little bit of an off track, but he's still up and running. We've got basically 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th all together, with Newman's made 10th place. Oh, he hasn't. He's made a mistake.
Oh, no.
Oh, he had the 10th. He had pole for race 2, Mark. And he makes a boo-boo going into the hairpin. What a... Oh, that's good for Pete Newman there.
That is so uncharacteristic of Pete Newman. That is unreal. I was looking, it was just coming down. I was like, that's it. We're on pole for race number 2. But that now falls to Roger Morton. Roger Morton is going to have a massive grin on his face. He's going to try and keep Danny Kazar behind him for the next couple of laps. Obviously, it's going to be a tough battle because we know how fast Danny Kazar is. Obviously, a pro last year, is now an AM for this year, which is fantastic. So he's at the top end of the field with a new lease of life, we'll say. But yeah, Morton going to make that Renault Clio as wide as he can for the next sort of lap and a half here at Sebring Club. But yeah, he's going to want to be on pole, that's for sure. Lee Dima is going off in front of them. That's a nice little gap now. So yeah, this is your battle here for pole in race number 2.
There's a back marker in there as well. So Alan Toon is in there for good health, just about as well. Smith's coming round now. He's just about to start the final lap. He's going to make it by about 15 seconds. So we are on the final lap. Steve Burns of Dan Mould side by side down into the hairpin. Both of these gentlemen have had their moments there. Burns opens up the steering, pushes Dan Mould out to the right hand side, and then behind Dan Mould is also Alan McCain coming back through as well. He's trying to do a stellar job on this recovery, but it is Burns on the left. Mould, it looks like he's through, and a job done for him as well as he's coming down now round into turn 2, which is Cunningham here, and Sam Smith looks like he has got a back marker in front of him. That is Andy Littler. Littler's going to go to the left-hand side and allow him through, and then Sam Smith's basically got about one more corner to go here of race 1. Unexpected winner, would we say, Mark? Because both me and you did not have him down as a win this evening.
No, and when he listens to this back, I've known Sam since we were about 8 years old, so I think he'd be really disappointed that I didn't pick him. But yeah, fantastic result. He's been flying all the way through practice, and yeah, decent result here. Sam Smith, as he comes across the line to take his first win here in the JPB Clio Championship. He's going to love that. This Clio's going to do donuts at the end of this.
Yeah, Hardy's going to come across the line in second place with Carl Ridley in third there. Then we've got Derek Crowther, and we've still got Danny Gazar and Stuart Gibbons battling it out. Roger Morton manages to hang on. Is he going to manage to hang on to that 10th place? He makes sure of it. He comes in front, does an excellent job and hangs on to that first there. Kazar will go across the line in second in the AMs, with Gibbons coming over the line in third there. Dan Mould comes over the line, 12th in class, 16th overall. Mark Chappell behind him. Parfitt's got Jacqueline crawling all over him currently at the moment. Oh, Jacqueline gives him a little nudge across the line there as well. David Ayres, Chris Barnes comes not too far apart. And then we've got Jason Haddington, Chris Dixon, and also Paul Godden behind that as well. So there is Jason Haddington, there is Chris Dixon, and there is Paul Godden. Top 10 reverse. Roger Morton on pole there, Mark. How's he going to handle that?
Hopefully a little bit better than he did last week.
Yeah.
Because if you remember last week, he was leading by 6 point something seconds,
Yes.
and then had an incident all by himself.
Yeah, he did, and I think that was one of the things that he did have to look out for there as well. But yeah, he did. He was a little bit upset with himself. But here are the results from race 1. Sam Smith is your winner by 5.5 seconds. Derek Crowther wins the AMS in second place overall. Carl Hardy third. Carl Ridley is in fourth. Sam Van Olst fifth. Jono Johnson sixth. Duncan Murray seventh. Parker Steele eighth. Lee Lehman ninth. Roger Morton 10th. Pole man for race 2. Danny Kazar 11th. Stuart Gibbons 12th. Wayne Palmer 13th. Pete Newman 14th. Charles Kellerman 15th. Dan Mould 16th. Steve Burns 17th. And Alan McCain down in 18th. Then beyond that, we've got Mark Chappell, Edward Parfitt, Carl Jacklett, Rob Williams, Chris Barnes, David Ayres, Jason Addington, Chris Dixon, Paul Godden, and Andy Littler. Then we've got Martin Sampson, Alan Toon, and Daniel Lewis rounds out the top 31. You've got 31 cars on track here as well this evening. Here is the grid for race 2. We got Roger Morton in pole with Lee Deemer in second. Parker Steele third. Duncan Murray fourth. Jono Johnson fifth. Sam Van Olst sixth. Carl Ridley seventh. And Carl Hardy is in eighth with Derek Crowther in ninth. And Sam Smith rounds out your top 10. Danny Kazar in 11th. Stuart Gibbons 12th. Wayne Palmer 13th. Pete Newman 14th. Charles Kellerman 15th. Dan Mould all the way down in 16th. Stephen Burns 17th. And Alan McCain is in 18th place. Then you got Mark Chappell, Edward Parfitt, Carl Jacklett, Rob Williams, Chris Barnes, David Ayres, Jason Haddington, Chris Dixon, Paul Godden, Andy Littler, Martin Sampson, Sir Alan Toon, and then Daniel Lewis rounds out the top 31 there. Well, I like Katie's opinion in YouTube here, Mark. I think this is it sums it up really. Not so much a crash, but a couple of drivers here and there just off-tracking each other while battling. I think that basically sums it up, doesn't it? What we've seen in race 1, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean there was a slight mistake as they headed into Tower for the first time, but it wasn't an incident. They both drove away from it. But yeah, it's the case of, obviously as you've rightly pointed out, this track isn't used very much in iRacing. It's such a shame that some of the calendars obviously don't use this. This track would be obviously fantastic with the Clios, the stuff like the Ray 1600. It'd be phenomenal around here. But yeah, they need to use it a bit more. And I think I know who Katie is as well. I think she's when I stream as well, I think she's in mine. So yeah, fantastic to have new people in the stream every week. It's yeah, really good for us.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. And thank you so much for obviously joining us here as well. Obviously, we do a lot of events on the JPB YouTube channel. We've got the LSRL GT3s coming up later on this evening. We've got the UK Sim Races return with the MX-5. We've got the GT4s on Wednesday. Back again. Hey. You're in that, aren't you, Mark? The GT4s?
I attend. Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, I think you might be leading the championship. You are going to Spa this week, though, sir.
I know, and I don't like Spa.
Okay, well, Mark is not going to win that.
Oh, not a fan.
We've got the TRCRC Rookie Series, the LSRL W12s, American Sim Racing GT4s, the Beer League TCRs, Radical Sim Racing, obviously with the Radicals, SR10s, TCR Season Round 4 with the SRL. Then we've got the TSRC Round 1 from the Nürburgring. That's a 2-hour endurance series. And then on Sunday, we've got the IGP Radical Sim Racing and the Tanzo GR86. So there's a lot of cars for everyone this season, this week alone. So, tune in. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Evening, Mark. Yep, Kitty here, she says.
Yes, that's Twitch name, Miss Kitty Louise.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, a regular on my stream. But yeah, it's fantastic that people obviously watch me racing your series in the GT4 and then come and watch the Clios, and never know, enter next year.
Yeah, definitely. Come and join
it's
along,
good.
Katie. You can come and have some fun in the Clios and the GT4s. There might be a GT3 series running on a Sunday evening. Possibly.
Oh.
If I could persuade my admins to get involved, because Craig Jones, Roger Morton, and Jason Hallington are the admins here as well, and they do generally turn around and say, "James, what are you doing? What's going on?" And they do tell me that sometimes my ideas are a little bit crazy, and I've had a few of them. Let's put it that way. So hopefully they won't come out and say that, and they'll get on board the GT3s on a Sunday evening. Here as well. But 5 minutes now, we are going to be up underway. David Ayres looks like he has not made the grid here. Roger Morton sitting there. We're going to stay on this camera on this rundown into turn 1. Here we go. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Race 2 is underway here. And here we go, rushing down into turn 1. It is Morton who's got an absolute flyer. Parker Steele as well was involved in that one as they all come rushing down. Chris Dixon, everybody makes it through turn 1 here, and success all the way round as we've now got Roger Morton out in front here, Mark, and he's leading by about 7 tenths currently at the moment.
Oh, and who was that going in quick there? I think that was one of the Goldwing cars. Yeah, fanning out again over as we get round tower, but yeah, fantastic to see a great start here from the boys. Yeah, Roger Morton, he's going to have deja vu about now. Obviously, Parker Steele, we know he's quick from how he went on at Sandown last week. But yeah, Morton, fantastic start. Gets that Clio off the line so fast as we've got an incident in the background. I can't quite see who that is.
Sampson. That's with Paul Godden. Sampson's gone up the inside of Godden. 3 into 1. There's lots of sandwiching. There's lots of pushing. And they all lost it. Haddington and Sampson. And then basically the man who come out of that was basically Paul Godden, who was sandwiched initially. So he's got out through quite successfully there as well. Looks like Danny Kazar's also had a moment here all at the same time. And it's all looking with 19 minutes on the clock here, Mark. And Roger Morton out in front at the moment. Is he going to be having deja vu, Mark? Do we think he can handle it?
Yes, I have faith in the Morton this week. I'm chatting to him a little bit this week, and I'm obviously doing a little bit just before the broadcast came on. But yeah, absolutely flying. But yeah, let's not write off Parker Steele. He's been quick this year. A privateer in this championship. You can probably tell by his livery. He's got a massive bear on the front, which I find quite amusing. But yeah, Morton's just got to keep his head. He's just got to keep looking forward. As we see Lee Deemer trying to get that Excite Energy car into P number 2. And these boys are going to go too wide, I'm going to guess, into the chicane as we see Jono Johnson passing extraordinaire at the minute. He's somewhere close, and that Lee Deemer's left the door wide open there for Jono Johnson. Is he going to get 2 of them? He's certainly going to get Deemer. Is he at the inside of Parker Steele? He's just at the door.
Oh, there's some action going on further back here as well with Charles Kellerman. There's action even further back. Who's going to try and take it round the outside of Chris Barnes? That would have been a brave move there, son. I'm not going to lie, but nice effort. Giving it a go down here in 23rd place at the moment. He's got to have a target of the top 20 but get on to pole. Chris Dixon has got Rob Williams right behind him. Dixon on the left-hand side, Williams in the green on the right. And here we go. Is Williams going to be able to take it around the outside? He leans on Dixon. They're rubbing panels. And Dixon manages to hold on, but he has not got a very big gap. I want to go back up front because Duncan Murray and Sam Smith, I knew there was going to be something happening. Smith's off as well. Mold's coming through. Parker Steele makes a mistake and he's in a position here. And unfortunately, Marky's got down Mold right up behind him and Sam Smith as well. And that's never two bits of company you want to have beside you here as well.
No, they're still too wide as I go from there. Parker Steele must have had a massive off there. He was running P2. And yeah, Mold swallows it up, and Smith is going to want to fire through with him as well. Obviously, Smith not had the best look. Flashing the lights there to Parker Steele. We're going to see a late move from Smith. He's going to keep it in the back of that car there. No move. But yeah, as they come 2 by 2 by 2 down into the hairpin here, We're on board with Rob Williams. Obviously, the Triple P car of Chris Barnes as well is there as well.
No, Dixon! Dixon and Williams, sorry to cut you off there, Mark. I got a little bit. Oh, he sliced it.
What a move, Mini Parfitt. Well, that was fantastic. That was in between the two Triple P cars. I don't even think they saw him come in. They've definitely not got no front bumpers left. That was amazing.
God blimey, I'll give my son some props on that one. He did what Dad probably couldn't do it.
Oh,
Let's just try and see if we can go back a little bit and see if we can catch the beginning of that. Oh, blimey, we've way through the middle. Fair play to him. Proud father sat in the commentary booth. What a move that was.
yeah, Smith still struggling to get past Parker Steele here for 11th place. Obviously, with having Pete Newman on a decent recovery drive, just missed out on the reverse grid there. He is up 8 places into P number 6, and he is fighting with Carl Hardy. But Carl just sitting there nice and pretty, letting Newman take the lead. There's a gap now to Sam Van Orst, so Newman is going to want to get that right foot buried and get onto the back of the Golden Motorsport car as we're now looking at Sam Smith. Is still stuck behind Parker Steele. These boys can't be fighting that much. They need to stay on the back of Mulder. Smith looks towards the inside, tries to put him off into the braking zone. And he's literally on the back end of the privateer here.
Oh, there is so many battles here going all the way through the field. It is just absolutely crazy. Roger Morton has got Lee Deemer crawling all over the back of him, and they've got a back marker in front of him as well in to Alan Toon. And unfortunately, it looks like Alan Toon is going to get caught up here in this one with 5.5 minutes, nearly 6 minutes on the clock already. Top 20 reverse, that's currently held. Oh, bless him. Bye, my boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things you love to see, things you don't love to see. I think we've had an incident with Parker Steele. He's down even further, now down to 19th, as I think Jono Johnson is up to 2nd. So what happened to Parker Steele?
This is contact, isn't it? This is contact all day. Oh.
And then the rear bumper just decided it didn't want to play ball anymore. Who's that?
Jono
Oh no,
Johnson.
I think that was
Jono Johnson's
and Roger Morton.
Yeah, I wonder what happened here, because Jono Johnson has gone straight back to the pits. He's gone up the inside of Lee Deemer. He's missed his braking point. Oh! Torpedoed Roger Morton. Oh,
that.
no.
Oh dear.
The leader's out. The leader's in the pits. Oh no.
Can you imagine taking out the leader of the race and an admin of the series? I don't think it gets any worse for Jono Johnson, as we were singing his praises throughout the first half of this race of being a passing extraordinaire. Obviously, just looking at the car in front, realised that he probably should have braked about 50 yards before he actually did. But that's one to write in Discord of a dear Roger is what that's going to be.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Dear Roger, I'm sorry I took you out for the lead, and I'm sorry I've just taken out an admin as well of the JPB Clio. Oh dear. Well, good luck, Jono Johnson. I hope that works out for you. I'm sure Roger will be nice. The only good thing he's got is the points are automated, so he can't get any deduction for points on that one. And of course, if you're new to the JPB as well, obviously there's no stewarding, there's no live stewarding, there's no stewarding after we expect the drivers to be gentlemen and professional and speak to each other about incidents before they start ranting and raving, which, to be fair to us, Mark, Touchwood Season 2, that's actually worked out as a nice system to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to become a keyboard warrior here, especially in the heat of the moment. But yeah, it's about diffusing the situations quickly. But yeah, there's been nothing this year. It's been fantastic racing. We've had a couple of incidents, of course. We have. We'd be lying if we say we didn't. But yeah, it's one of those series where you bring such close racing together. You can see the timing tower. Everybody is within a couple of tenths of a second of each other. You're always going to have incidents. It's just, how the drivers bounce back and learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, Steve Burns and Sam Smith here are trying to battle it out and go too wide round the hairpin. I'm not entirely sure that was a good idea. I do like Katie in YouTube chat there much, but dear Roger, I can only apologise for wiping you out. I forgot I had a break. I had to break.
Yes, yeah, it's amazing that middle pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you put your foot on it and go, I probably should have braked a little bit earlier than that. Then you panic brake, you get to 100%, and by that time the Clio is saying, no, my front wheels are locked. And yeah, the only thing that stopped Jono Johnson there was the side of the was the side of your car.
Yeah, it was Paul Godden. Oh no! Where have you gone, boy? Well, you're down in 21st now. If you want pole, you got to get hold of Martin Sampson. And unfortunately there, I'm wondering if there was more involved in that, because at the time he was battling away with Paul Godden. No, he just outbrakes himself. And unfortunately onto the grass there, an easy mistake to be made. Carl Ridley has now got Pete Newman for company, and Carl Hardy behind that as well. Sam Van Olst has got about a 1.5 second gap at the moment as we're going into the last 10 minutes. This I don't know, it's very action-packed, this one, Mark, isn't it? Look at the time it's out. There's battles all the way through the field. And Steve Burns is another one who's just clearing up the inside of Duncan Murray here as well with these guys, and are battling rather nicely down in 8th and 9th in class and 8th and 9th overall.
Yeah, the front of turned across the front of him, Stephen Burns there, and that Clio is straight into the body shop. Just didn't leave. I don't think he left enough space there. It didn't leave a car which was coming over in the braking zone, and yeah, fired him straight off into the barrier, unfortunately.
Poor old Stephen Burns is off track now
Poor
as
old
well.
Stephen Burns.
Yeah. It's down the order. Steve Burns there with basically what is practically half a Clio on that one, producing his own airflow. All right, as a mechanic, does that actually, obviously it's not going to assist with downforce, but then again we're talking a Clio. The Clio's like a roller skate on wheels and hasn't really got a lot of downforce. But does not having that bumper, we say it every time, that it gives it great airflow and air cooling, but does it actually work?
I'd hope so. The amount that Renault spend on aerodynamics, I'd hope that they make a front bumper that work. I mean, the intercooler is going to get a lot cooler now, but that front left-hand side of the car, I'm surprised that's still driving at the angle of that wheel. It looks like it's been pushed back a bit. Obviously, you can see the damage model here in iRacing. It's pretty good. It's good that you lose car parts. Are we going to see him disappear into the pit lane? Don't think so. I can't actually remember where the pit lane is here. I think it's here, isn't it?
Yeah, the yellow cone's on the right there. Yes, he is. So it's going to go on. If you haven't been here, this is the club pits one.
Now this will confuse people that aren't in iRacing people. They do get a fast repair. They do? They
yes,
don't?
Yes, they do.
So he gets an instant mechanic. A fast repair, if you haven't heard of it before, is you get a brand new car. So obviously you have to pit, you don't take tyres, you don't take fuel, you get one fast repair per race in some series you don't, but you literally get a brand spanking new car and you can go out and play again. So that's that's fantastic. It means your race isn't over if you make a slight mistake.
Yeah, Newman's just gone through on Dima. What about Carl Ridley, Danny Kazar there as well? It looks like Carl Ridley for the win it and bid it, boys. They don't like their front bumpers because Ridley's lost his as well.
They must know something we don't. They're leading the team championship.
They are, yes.
So there's obviously something in it for sure. If they're both not having them, yes. Either that or they've both forgotten where the brake is. You'll take, your audience can take their pick.
What would you think here, Mike? Do you mean they both forgot where the brake was? You reckon? Oh no!
After seeing that, yes.
Oh dearie me! Oh no, we go back to the timing tower. My boy is currently sitting on pole at the moment. He's got his pro teammate, Roger Morton, behind him. Is Morton going to let him have pole, do you reckon? Or do you reckon we're going to see the two JPB racing boys battling it out? Oh no! Oh, is he going to allow Morton through?
Oh no, he has as well.
Don't take out your teammate, Mini-Me. Don't take out.
Please pass him.
Oh, dearie me, this is the two JPB Racing. This is Edward Parfitt and Roger Morton here, and battling it out down in for that pole position. Morton looks like he's got a little bit more of a speed over Edward, though, I'm not going to lie, this time around here. So it looks like Morton might hang on that 20th. Looks like Mark Chappell's had an incident though, and Chappell is behind him unfortunately, so it's not going to benefit either of these two here, and it still looks like Roger Morton is in 20th, and Mr. Edward Parfitt, of course, is down in 21st. We will keep an eye on that gap here as this one progresses. Lee Deemer and Sam Smith are back together as well, round Collier, coming off through Tower here, Mark. And this is the battle for 4th and 5th overall.
Yeah, a decent result here for Sam. Obviously struggled to get through the field. Was down in 11th as he runs into the back of Lee Deemer, just pushing him along. And that's a slow Triple P car that they're both getting past. To answer Matt John's question, what happened to Kyle? What happened to Kyle Ridley? I don't remember, if I'm honest. I'll lie and say he went off at Tower. I don't actually know.
I'm hunting. I was hunting back through as I read that message, and I'm still hunting back through here now. See if I can find Carl Ridley's name anywhere that may have involved an off track. And currently, I'm all the way back at the start, and I cannot see Carl Ridley's name once. So unless Mr. Ridley had a slowdown, maybe, but that's a big old chunk of a slowdown there. But these guys may have lost, but yeah, not entirely sure on that one. There's another man into the pits. It's one of the Triple Ps. That's Williams. He's gone in as well from 25th. That again is not going to help the guys down in 20th and 21st place here. And then we've got Martin Sampson, Paul Godden and Andy Littler battling it out for 16th, 17th and 18th. I've got to be honest here, Littler's up 12 places along with Mr. Newman. Newman is up 12 as well, one of the biggest gainers in the race so far. And then they all are up 12 places, Littler and Sampson, and Newman up 12. And the biggest so far is Roger Morton, who's down 19th, who got, unfortunately, T-boned, I guess, by Jono Johnson. A fair way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mistake from Morton. It was, you know, there was nothing he could do. He was literally about to turn into the hairpin, and before you know it, he had a Johnson in the side door. Obviously, luckily he's all right. He's still going at the minute, but yeah, looking at it like he's going to go on provisional pole for race number 3. But the man out front being a little silent assassin for this race. Sam Van Orst currently up 5 places. Fantastic for the Goldwyn Motorsport guys, and yeah, Pete Newman again showing why he's season 1 champion. Whether he is able to catch Van Orst in the last sort of 4 minutes, I don't think so. That gap is pretty big at 1.8 seconds. But yeah, Littler still doing a fantastic job here, racing with Sampson and Godden. Morton is not far behind either. Unfortunately, Kellerman is past Parfitt, which puts Kellerman now onto pole position. So hopefully,
I've got
there's
a
some
funny
smoke there.
feeling
Who's
there, actually,
that?
Mark. That's Morton past Kellerman. So Morton past Kellerman. Was that?
That's a Samsung made a mistake then. That must have been something that happened there between him, Littler and Godden.
Oh, you're blinking, boy. What's going on with our internet here at the house? Steve Burns has gone. Gonna try and no, get through. He defended. He's now sitting in that pole position. He's got literally about 2 laps to try and hold Steve Burns back. Martin Sampson has gone into the pits. Danny Kazar has had an incident. Danny Kazar has crashed, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Was this all on his own? Going down into the hairpin here. There's battles up front as well with the SRL boys. And that is the theme. Oh, Danny Kazar just runs it too hot. Over the grass he goes. And he manages to hold on. What is going on with Parfitt and Burns? Well, they're still battling it out there as well. Parfitt takes the nose off Burns. He's performed a good old couple of nose jobs in this race, is my boy. I'm not going to lie. Duncan Murray and also Dan Mould and Alan McCain and Carl Ridley battling it out as well. Duncan, big move to the right-hand side there. Goes on the defensive there, Mark, but that looked a massive move from him.
Yeah, fantastic here. This is a battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So yeah, fantastic. Mould having a great result here, up 9 places. McCain obviously threading his way through the pack here, up 10 places. But yeah, Mould pushing the back here of Duncan Murray. And Murray's going to head it towards the inside, not leave a gap there right against the white line is Murray. Mould's going to fly out towards the outside. You're not going to go around the outside there, Dan. He's going to hope that Murray goes a little bit deep in so we can get the cut back. That's exactly what Dan's trying to do. He's on the inside of Murray, as we see Carl Ridley and Alan McCain doing exactly the same thing. The Win It and Bin It without the front bumper, flying down the straight. Obviously, it's not affecting his top speed as we are on the inside here of Alan McCain, and that is going to be job done for Carl Ridley. McCain's going to try and hold it around the outside. He is indeed, and that's going to give him the inside here on this left-hander. Fantastic balance all the way through the field as we head into the 19th minute of this 20-minute race.
Yeah, they've got up front Sam Smith and Carl Hardy. I just read Adam Hedgecock's message there as well. He said, tell your lad not to get too close to the front of the cars behind, James. He's smudging my logo. No! Carl Hardy's off! Oh, is he going to be able to hold it onto some form of track? He is. He manages to hold it there. Jason Hannington's gone down the order once more. Steve Burns did clear Mr. Parfitt Jr. Parker Steele has got Danny Kazar in front of him with Wayne Palmer battling out as well there. Sam Van Olst has only got, well, he's going to have one more lap here, and look how close Newman is. He's 8 tenths back here, Mark. Can he take out that 8 tenths? Last lap time as well. Let's have a look as they're going to go across the line. What is the last lap time? And it's going to be a 1:13.6 and a 1:13.3.
Yeah. There's another 3 tenths. Newman is pushing. That Pure Sims esports car is going to be smoking by the time that Newman gets out of this. Sam Van Orst has taken out his rear view mirror. He's thrown that against the passenger seat. He doesn't need to see what that Newman is doing behind him, but you can see Pete using all of the track and a little bit more. He's going to have to make a move into the hairpin. That's his only chance that he's got here.
Hold on 2 seconds. They're side by side. Morton made a mistake. Can he take this 20th place away? Can he get pole position for race 3? Oh no! He's made a mistake, Mark.
It's that middle pedal again, isn't it?
Yeah. But here is Van Olst and Newman battling out. I'm sorry, I got a little bit excited now. I almost thought I was going to see my boy on pole. That would have been an exciting one. But it looks like Sam Van Olst is going to come across the line for race 2. And hold this and run up through Fangio. They go, and I think he is going to get it. It's going to be Van Olst. Don't leave that inside line open. Pete Newman will try and run up here as well. But it is Van Olst who takes the win as he comes across the line. In the arms, it's going to be, I think, Derek Crowther battling it out here as well. He's got Stuart Gibbons, but I think Crowther's going to come across the line for the arms here, Mark. And Crowther makes 2 out of 2 so far. So there we go. And is this one going to happen as it is? Is Daniel Lewis behind Mr. Parfitt Jr. And unfortunately for him, he went in a little bit too excited. And Roger Morton is going to take pole as he's battling away with Charles Kellerman. Unless they have an incident. Oh no. Well, that could have been disastrous for Roger Morton there as well. So, yeah, it all got a little bit excited in that one, Mark, didn't it, towards the end?
I'm surprised he's gone for that. I mean, he obviously still starts on the front row, but he now starts on the outside of the front row instead of the inside. So he's got to hope that Kellerman isn't very quick off the line. But hey ho, we'll never know. But Mr. Toon just having a nice Sunday afternoon drive.
Yeah, I do love good old Alan Toon. He does love a good old solid Sunday drive here as well. We are going to now bring you up the results. Wow, gets too excited like his dad, says Stuart Pearson. Maybe he does as well. But Sam Van Olst is your winner in the pros with Pete Newman only 2 tenths behind. Sam Smith in 3rd. Lee Deemer 4th, Carl Hardy 5th, and Dan Mould it rounds out the top 6 with Duncan Moraine, Alan McCain, Carl Ridley there in 9th. Derek Crowther takes his 2nd win in the AMS here. He is absolutely flying this season. Carl Jacklett, Wayne Palmer there, and Danny Kazar clearing up in 13th. With Parker Steele in 14th, Stuart Gibbons 15th, Andy Littler 16th, Paul Godden 17th, and Steve Burns in 18th. Behind that, we've got Charles Kellerman took pole position with Edward Parfitt in 21st, Dan Lewis 22nd, David Ayres, Mark Chappell, Sir Alan Toon, Chris Dixon, Jason Haddington, Rob Williams, Martin Sampson, Jono Johnson, and Chris Barnes there rounds out the back end. Wow, Mark, that was just a stellar job from these guys. Absolutely flying.
Yes, and almost a Morton on pole again. That would have been fantastic to see if he could do it again. But yeah, another great race. Newman, as I said, showing why he is our season 1 champion. Fantastic drive through the field to obviously get second place. Obviously now going to start P18, 19,
Who?
P19. Newman. Yeah,
Yeah,
19. It's a funny reverse grid, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Nice job, Blade. Yeah, Blade Designs there as well, with Derek Craver taking the arms and Stuart Gibbons behind him there as well. A first and a third for Blade Designs currently at the moment, and they are sitting pretty in the AM Championship. They're a second, only behind the DHD Sim Sport boys, which consists of Danny Kazar and also Mark Chappell. So that's going to be turning into a nice, interesting battle there as well. So a stellar job. We are in a brief little 5-minute warm-up here as everybody takes a break and goes and gets a drink here, Mark, as well. So, yeah, stellar job so far over the first 2 races.
Yeah, and fantastic as well for Derek Crowther. 2 Pro-Am wins. That's fantastic. Or 2 Am wins.
I do love it when you say Pro-Ams.
Because everybody's a pro. Kind of. Yeah, I think it's just yeah. In my head, it goes pro-am. But yeah, I don't know why. Something that's always happened for me, I guess. But yeah, fantastic result for him. 2 wins.
Yeah. So.
And hello, Mr. Hedge as well.
Oh yes.
I know he gets muddy when I don't say hello to him.
Yeah, say hello, please. Well, be nice. It would have been nice to see Mini-Me on pole with his teammate. Yeah, that would have been a stellar job. But Roger Morton thought otherwise. Mini-Me missed the fact that he had a brake pedal and broke a little bit too hot there. I think he got a little bit excited about being in pole and then just overshot it, unfortunately. But to be fair, he's come on leaps and bounds this week, and it's not just because of he's my boy, but he has in general. He's taken on board a lot of advice. I got to give thanks out to Roger Morton and Dan Mould. They've been helping him this week as well with racecraft and everything else. So he's done a stellar job. He's completed 2 out of 2, which was more than what he completed last time. So, you know, fair play to him for taking it on. Don't forget, he is new to this whole scenario. So, yeah, he's done an absolutely stellar job. Andy Littler is another one. Mark Chappell, Danny Kazar. They've all been improving as the season's gone on. You know, the championship standings currently for the AMs. We've got Crowther, Kazar and Chappell, with Ollie Rick sitting in 4th there. And they've all done an amazing job. Dan Mould, Carl Ridley, Zan Van Olst and Parker Steele was leading the pros. So, again, you know, there's a good mix of racing here, Mark. I think that's what we can take out of this series. We've seen a lot of drivers that can mix it up together.
Yeah, and it's so nice to see the fact that, okay, they're not all the same team. Obviously, Dan Mould representing SRL. We know how fast Dan is. And, yeah, it's just so nice that people are helping each other out. Obviously, you know who you're racing, but yeah, helping out the new guys and yeah, some of the AMs, it's fantastic to see. And that's the kind of community we want. You know, we've all got full-time jobs. We all got to work 9 till 5. We all come home and have a little race on iRacing. So yeah, a good friendly community is what it's all about.
Yeah, just to let you know, Mr. Hedge says about time, boss, that you said hello to him. He's been in chat a while. Yeah. But then Katie told him to pipe down. So, you know, he's got your back at least.
I think they're all on, well, they're not all on my team. Oh. Mostly of them are.
Yeah, probably not on your side, though. Some others could do with some racecraft. Well, yeah, Martin, the problem is, as we've said specifically numerous amounts of times, is we bring in together a lot of drivers from a lot of different communities, so everybody gets a race in a different way there, and they've all done a stellar job. Trust me, last season this was worse, Martin. We've had to have a good old few chats with people, but the grid is up for race 3. Charles Kellerman in 1st, Roger Morton 2nd, Steve Burns 3rd, Paul Godden 4th, Andy Littler 5th, Stuart Gibbons 6th, Parker Steele 7th, Danny Kazar 8th, Wayne Palmer 9th, Carl Jacklett 10th, Derek Craver 11th, Carl Ridley 12th, Alan McCain 13th, Duncan Murray 14th, Dan Mould 15th, Carl Hardy 16th, Lee Deemer and Sam Smith round out the top 18. And then beyond that, we've got Pete Newman, Sam Van Olst, Edward Parfitt, Dan Lewis, David Ayres, Mark Chappell, Sir Alan Toon, Chris Dixon, Jason Anderson, Rob Williams, Martin Sampson, Jono Johnson and Chris Barnes rounds out the final one. We are going to be underway very, very shortly. The lights are going to be coming on. Is Kellerman going to get this Clio off the start? Is Roger Morton going to jump him down into turn one? This is both times Morton's been on the front row for race 2 and race 3. He's having a go now as well. Kellerman's come across and cut his nose off. He's through this time. What about further back here as well? This looks like everybody is going to make it through. Once more for race 3, and everybody makes it through going into turn 1 here, Mark.
Yeah, Kellerman off the line well there, and Morton went with him. Burns obviously had to settle for P3, but he shows his nose to Roger Morton on the inside. He's going to back out of that as they head into the Rabbit Bend as they hook a right before we get to Le Mans. But yeah, Kellerman out front. Fantastic start from him. The AM driver here in front of the two pros, but he's going to want to keep that gap there from Paul Godden. As I said earlier, always makes a decent appearance here in round number 3. So yeah, good start had by all, I feel.
Yeah, Pete Newman is up 3 places. He's trying to cut through with Dan Mould. They're going to be 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 there. I'm probably suggesting whoever's just trying to take that 3 wide, please don't. And oh, is it going to make it through? There's a spinner. There's contact. It looks like it might be. Is it Godden in the 17? Wayne Palmer. Oh no, we can have a brief look and see what happened to Wayne Palmer down in the hairpin. But it all looked very chaotic. There was a swerve from one of the result boys there. Oh, is that Carl Jacklick sneaking up the inside? Yeah, and that's Andy Littler. And unfortunately, I've got to look at the fact that it could have been Jacklick instigating that move there, Mark, and that caused a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, I think it's always the person that makes it 3 wide is to blame, and who's that going off looking at 3 wide? Oh, we're 3 wide on the grass there as Newman's on the inside of Kellerman trying to push Dan Mould through.
Oh no, sorry Mark, that was Jacklick again.
Oh, incident speed instance, and that's a late move as well, locks up in front of Sam Smith. So yeah, that's a block pass on Sam Smith there, so Sam's going to head to the inside. Jacqueline in the middle of the track as Mini Parfitt is trying to head round the outside, and he's got Derek Crowther, two-time winner this evening as Parfitt flies to the inside. He certainly knows how wide that Clio is this evening as he heads at the inside trying to follow Sam Smith through. That's going at the inside of Jacqueline. Jacquelin's not going to back out of that, so just going to have to slip back in behind him, but Smith through past Jacqueline. He's going to go after Newman now. But yeah, fantastic opening start here, and Kellerman, fastest lap of the race. That is at least 3 or 4 tenths faster than everybody else. Alan McCain trying to hold off Newman here. I think this is going to be a done deal for Newman. We've seen how fast that man is this evening.
Yeah, he's been absolutely flying. He's got Alan McCain. He's going to tighten up the entrance into Tower. And through goes Pete Newman this time around. McCain's trying to hang it around the outside. They're leaning on each other here, rubbing paint. They're swapping the iRace and the Pure Sims liveries onto each other here with Alan McCain coming down now into turn 6. The right hander, the quick wiggle through turn 7. And on they go once more here as well. Sam Benos was battling away with Jono Johnson there as well. They looked like a bit of a moment further up with Carl Ridley. Looked like he got all out of shape there, as Carl Ridley has got Edward Parfitt behind with Dima in the mix as well. Dima's going to go into the inside there as well, and he's blocked off. Oh!
Mini Parfitt facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if the block there was late, but then I'm not sure on that, to be honest. Call that as you will, Mark.
No, I'm not.
Go on, Mark. Call it. Tell it. Go on. Say how it was. What was it?
I think in fact, I know you can only move once, and I think there was a lot of movement from Mini P, obviously trying to defend that position, but everybody does it. And look at this lot going into here. That's movement on the inside as well. And who's that trying to go around the outside? That's McCain trying to go around the outside, and that's Mould stuck in the middle.
That's not going to work.
Keep your foot in, Pete. Keep your foot in. who was that? It was Jacqueline giving Pete Newman just enough amount of road to get back on. As Newman, Mould, and I think that was McCain all trying to go into that corner. That didn't work at all. But the two iRace boys here, obviously of Sam Smith and Alan McCain, all over the back of Dan Mould. They're going to try and work together and get through and get gone. Change to the lead. Kellerman back to second. Stephen Burns obviously passed through. So that is the pro driver for Win It and Bin It, currently leading your pro championship of Win It and Bin It. So yeah, Sam Burns flying at the inside. That's Roger Morton trying to fake a move there to Kellerman's.
I thought he was going to have a good go there, Mark. They've got that. He looks like he's almost tightening up that run, isn't he? He doesn't take that very wide line that people generally do. He kind of straight lines it as much as possible. It's almost like he's had some advice from somebody who has told him to kind of stick to that right-hand curve as close as possible there, Mark.
Hey, it's working though, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, he's doing a stellar job. I'm not going to deny it hasn't, but he's going to leave the door open. Oh, Parker still might have a go on the inside here. Morton shuts the door and is now trying to go stick his nose up the inside of Charles Kellerman there as well. Oh, it's
just
close.
Not late enough on the brakes there, was he?
No.
And who's that on the inside?
Mould.
That's going to be that's a Mould move, and Smith. That is those two rubbing doors as they're heading up the Fangio chicanes. Obviously, flat out in most cars here on iRacing these corners. But yeah, Paul Godden in the mix as always in race number 3. This is a huge train. We see all the fast boys in here. We've got Ridley, Jono Johnson, Pete Newman. That's Newman round the outside of Jono Johnson. That's the passer and the passer working together there as they're going to try and get back on Ridley. But yeah, fantastic there from Pete Newman. What's he going to do here? Is he going to send it up the inside? He's not. He's going to stay as it is as Dan Mould and Sam Smith.
Oh no!
Come together.
Oh,
Sam doing a nice 3-point turn. Very good. He'll use his triple screens to make that entry back onto the circuit as safely as possible, as they're still 2 and 3 wide up front. We're riding on board now, watching Jono Johnson and Sam Van Orst. Obviously Sam, winner from race number 2. Not had him his own weight, still up 5 positions, but into P15 as Newman flies across the track in front. That's going to go up the inside of Carl Ridley. That Pure Sims Esports car going to be later on the brakes. That Pure Sims Esports car too late on the brakes. Newman.
Oh no! That's Carl Hardy gone off. Hardy's off there as well. It's sliding down the order. Unfortunately, Newman's involved in this one. There's Mini P. He's battling out with Derek Crowver, the man who's taken 2 wins out of 2 here. And I think that's what Hedge picked up on in YouTube chat there as well. He said borderline double move from Mini Parfitt there. So easy to do in the heat of the battle, to be fair. He'll learn how to deal with that with more experience, which basically means just let him take the inside. He had the inside there as well. He was never going to make it down the outside. So as that comes, I'm sure he will do better and better. But Danny Kazar is up behind Stuart Gibbons, and he's just about to allow Dan Mould to go through there. Very sensible, I would probably say. From Jono Johnson, he's got Carl Ridley and Carl Jacqueline. I'm pretty sure these pros in front here, Mark, are not going to be moving out the way as...
No, it did look like a bit of a slingshot there, doesn't it? And well done, Mr. Hedge. That's a great description. I'm really proud of you. But yeah, fun. It's very good. It's very nice. But yeah, fantastic results for a lot of people this evening. Obviously, very rare mistakes again from Newman. Overshot in that last chicane, but yeah, Jono Johnson back up behind Carl Ridley now. They're going to still want to make moves. Obviously, they are both up behind Jacqueline. We know how hard Jacqueline is to pass here. He's very good at defensive driving. This Jacqueline puts the car exactly where he wants to, and literally says to you, if you can go round me, have at it, but I'm not going to give you the line. As you see Jacqueline moving over to what is the right hand side of the track, and yeah, that is Carl Ridley not able to move anywhere there. As Jono Johnson just sitting back and watching. I think Jono's going to wait for Kyle to make a move and then try and get 2 birds with 1 stone, but we'll see how this one sort of plans out as we're halfway through now this 3rd race of the evening.
Yeah, you wouldn't think you were halfway through already. It is Danny Kazar has got Stuart Gibbons running side by side on the run down into the hairpin here as well.
Uh-oh, water needed. But yeah, fantastic. Danny Kazar then on the inside of Stuart Gibbons. That's a move done. So Danny Kazar up to P number 2. And who's that going round? I think that's Jacqueline. Obviously, Jacqueline having a bit of a struggle there. I don't know who hit that incident was with. Ridley on the exit. Goodbye, Mr. Jacqueline. Exit stage right there. So yeah, Ridley just catching the back end of Jacqueline's car as everybody's locking up here into Cunningham's corner. This is a three-way battle between Kazar, Gibbons and McCain. We're still watching these. These look like one big car as these guys are so close. And then, yeah, not far behind those. We're still looking at Carl Ridley, Jono Johnson. But fantastic battle here. That is Jono Johnson obviously looking at the inside of Carl Ridley, but no move there at all. As they both use all of the track and a little bit more around this Sebring Club circuit. Jono Johnson poking his nose in there.
I thought he was going to go for it there, Mark. I'm not going to lie. He had that little ounce of a snip of a gap. This is where Ridley needs to be over on the right-hand side. You're going to allow Johnson to take the inside line. Johnson's going to sweep to the left. We're expecting this move to be done down into the hairpin. And Jono Johnson does make it through. You can't leave the door open like that, can you, Mark? Not when you've got Jono Johnson behind you.
No, it's one of those where you think, oh yeah, he's not going to go for that, he's not going to go for that, and then you see the front end of this little Renault Clio just swipe to the right hand side, and you think, oh yeah, maybe he has. And yeah, then it's just the car on the inside's just got to brake that fraction earlier than the car on the outside, just to make sure obviously they get it stopped on the apex. But yeah, classic move there from Jono Johnson. And look at these three in front, still they're going at it. That's Kazar, McCain and Gibbons. And yeah, Jono Johnson has closed that gap already. We're gonna guess, give it a lap, and Johnson will be through past Gibbons as well. But McCain trying to fight back. He's currently up 5 places. Good start. But yeah, still a lot of work left to do. Kellerman is still holding his own there in P number 2. Obviously, the gap to Roger Morton is around about 3/10. That's too far for Roger to dive, and yeah, Kellerman knows that, so no defence needed. But yeah, fantastic from the Oxford Green team here, leading the way in race number 3.
It definitely is there, Kellerman and Morton. There's been action further back. I've been keeping an eye on this one. And it's Sam Smith past Edward Parfitt. Edward Parfitt past Sam Smith. Sam Smith returned the favour. Edward returned the favour. And Sam Smith returned the favour after that. So they've swapped positions about 5 times over the last little half a lap and a bit. So stellar battling going on all the way down the field. Wayne Palmer having a battle here with Rob Williams. And they've been going at it as well further down. I think that's one of the interesting things with this series is we've got Paul Godden with Lee Dima and Martin Sampson here, Mark. It's the fact that there's always battles for you to be having. It's not like some series where you've got, oh, Dima's going to try and take the inside into the tower. Is he going to make this move stick? He is. Is he going to get followed through from that green car, which is Martin Sampson? Sampson followed him through as well. Godden's kind of sitting here like a little bit of a roadblock here, Mark, as he's now got Sam Van Olst for company and Pete Newman. From your point of view, what would you do if you were in with Godden there?
Difficult when you've got 2 of the fastest cars on the grid behind you. He's going to leave that door open. I'm going to assume that they're both going to go for that. As they do, they both swing to the inside. Van Olst is going to have the inside. Pete Newman is just going to set this one up for the outside. We're going to assume that Godden isn't going to take the apex. And yeah, as you do, make it too wide on the exit. Fantastic move there from Van Olst and Newman to dispatch of Godden there. And that's Wayne Palmer. Obviously shoved onto the outside there by Rob Williams. Fantastic move there, goes wide. So that's going to be Littler on the inside of Palmer as well. Palmer again losing 2 positions in one corner. You do often see that in close circuit racing. As that's Samsung into the grass. What happened here? This is trying to get past Lee Deemer, I think, by that livery. Fakes early, fakes again, misses his braking point.
Yeah, unfortunately that was a... Again, though, that was experience, I think, from Deemer's point of view. It looked like there was a late move involved in that one as well, Mark, wasn't there? There was a move to the right and a move to the left. So it did look like there was a little bit of a late move, but as I say, Sampson faked the double and then didn't make his braking point to stop it. So I guess overall, is there a blame on Lee Deemer to be contending with there as well? I think it's a tough one. Jono Johnson's still battling it out with Alan McCain. McCain's just about to go up the inside. Oh, they got caught up. Is that going to allow Danny Kazar to try and come through? It did. And Stuart Gibbons there. So Gibbons flying in second place in the AMS here, Mark. He's mixing up in 7th overall. But he has got some quick guys behind him in the likes of McCain, Ridley, Jono Johnson and Danny Kazar. So all going to be going off because Kazar's going to want to get forward here, isn't he? He's got to get past these guys, try and get hold of Gibbons. And Gibbons is going to want to leave him where he is.
Yeah, Gibbons, when those two got caught, he pulled the car to the inside. That was fantastic from Gibbons. Just went, right, if you two are going to fight, I'm going to have both of the places here. And yeah, a lot of 2x2 action here. There's more Clios side by side than there is going into Noah's Ark, that's for sure. And who's that? That's Roger Morton, taking all of the curb and a little bit more. He's fighting with Parker Steele. Obviously Parker having a decent evening tonight, and Roger Morton is going to be sweating buckets after this race with the amount of pressure he's been under. Stuart Burns, Stephen Burns even, still leads the way. Fantastic laps there. He's doing low 14s, everybody else in the sort of mid, so he's slowly pulling away there. But yeah, that's yeah, fantastic result here with 4 minutes left to go. That's Kazar going wide there. He's going to try and get the cutback on Jono Johnson. That's not going to happen with the amount of power that these Clios do not have. But yeah, fantastic here. And who's that firing at the inside? That's Martin on the recovery drive, trying to go up the inside of Mini P. That's not going to happen because we know they're just going to shut that door as he's expected to. So that's going to be reload there for Mr. Sampson.
Yeah, and then we got further down here, Martin. They're still going at it all the way down. The Alan Toon and Dan Lewis is having a battle as well. However, Alan has just overshot that chicane. But Carl Hardy is in the mix here with Andy Littler. They're running side by side. Littler's just gone and sent it up the inside on Hardy. These are all getting very, very tight, and these guys are battling away further down. Sampson has managed to clear Mini-Me, unfortunately for him, but fortunate for Martin Sampson there. And there is Mini-Me running now behind Martin Sampson. Still 6th in class, 20th overall, up 1 place from where he started. Kellerman has now got Morton closing in on him again with about 3 minutes remaining. They're going to have about 2 laps here. Jono Johnson is still in this pack here, Mark, as well. And no battle is done, is it? They're going to run this for the whole 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you look at that battle. At the front of that battle is Stuart Gibbons. He's trying to run away from that, and right at the back of that is Sam Van Orst. And yeah, Gibbons running in P7 and also Van Orst in 13th. So yeah, it's fantastic that we're all in a little train here. Obviously makes it fairly difficult to pass, but obviously the worst place to be is in sort of the middle, where you need to be looking forwards and backwards. Always difficult to do, as we can see Jono Johnson all over the back of Carl Ridley. That SRL car is moving about something chronic here. Yeah, he's trying to find a gap. He's trying to put Ridley off. He's trying to do a bit of absolutely everything. Is Jono Johnson. He wants that place away from Carl Ridley. And I've got to be honest, for this race alone, we have seen some absolute stellar racing. Morton has now got Mould literally for company. And if Morton doesn't take that inside line, Mould's going to sweep past him. Is Mould going to try and go out the outside? He's not. They're going 3 wide, further back. Oh, near enough as well with Jono Johnson still trying to get past Carl Ridley. And then behind that, we've got Mark Chappell. He's still trying to clear the optical green. He's like a DHD sandwich here between the optical green of Carl Chacklett and Charles Kellerman. And that's Mini-Me trying to get onto the back of him as well. So there's battles all the way through. Morton battling away with Mould. Oh, he's going to cut his nose off. I think Mould's just lost a nose. He did. Morton takes that tighter line that he's been told to take as well. By Dan Mould all over the curbs. Oh, there is no room there, Mr. Mould. No room at the end. Thank you very much. And who's that with the little push? That's Duncan Murray trying to push Parker Steele past Dan Mould. But yeah, break there for Roger Morton. Obviously, Mould trying to get on the inside, but Roger saying, not a chance, boy. Is there a gap there? So yeah, a breathing for Roger Morton. This potentially could be the last lap, depending on where Sam Burns is.
I've just seen that. Steve Burns is really close to the time limit. I think there's going to be one more. I don't think the track map's quite matching up to where they are on track here. Not entirely sure why it's not actually matching up. But I think Steve Burns is going to get one more lap here. And as well, is he going to have this white lap? Well, Barney's just taken a night off on this circuit, unfortunately. Barney doesn't seem to want to appear. Jono Johnson now is trying to have a go at Steve Carl Ridley. Is this going to be a move? Ridley's closed the door. Is there going to be a... Oh, there nearly wasn't a gap. Wow, that just could have gone horribly wrong there for the two of them.
Yeah, Newman sitting probably fairly frustrated in P11. Not like Pete Newman, obviously we saw the mistake going into the hairpin where he overshot slightly, but Mould trying to find every which way past Carl Ridley. Fantastic. And who's that going to the inside with 3 wide up in front? I think that's Mould, Steele and Murray. Those 3 are... Oh, gosh.
Oh. I tell you what. Oh no, Parker Steele.
Nobody made the apex there at all. That is fantastic racing there. Parker Steele is going to hug that white line like it's going out of fashion. Dan Mould's got nowhere to go. Duncan Ray, where's he's going to go?
Oh, sorry there, Mark Morton was going to have a go at Kellerman.
Oh, he is.
Into the final bit as well. It is Steve Barnes going to take the victory. Well done, Steve.
It's getting closer.
I know, I'm trying, Mark, I'm trying. Go on. Is he going to push for second? Roger Moore's going to try and sweep rally out. Oh, no, Kellerman got it. Look at this. Oh, no. What has gone on? Oh, Edward Parfitt.
The world fell apart.
Mini-Me's holding off Mark Chappell in 5th place. Is he going to make it through? He did. I mean, Mini-Me took 5th there. I'm not entirely sure what happened after all that chaos. I'm not even entirely sure where to click, I think it's here. It is here. Duncan Murray is just... Well, he's going backwards. Not entirely sure. How did they all end up there, Mark? What has gone on?
That's a fantastic incident.
Oh, that's... Blimey. I'm trying to catch it, but I'm not quite sure where it all starts here. I've got a funny feeling it might be here. Yeah, Duncan Murray. Oh, Gibbons, Old. Everybody leaning on each other there as well.
I tell you what, props to Duncan Murray for getting that into reverse so quickly. That's fantastic. A proper J-turn. That car doesn't even stop before it's in reverse.
Yeah, we are just waiting. Oh. Chris Dixon, are you going to make the line? It doesn't look like Chris Dixon is going to make the line. I think this may have had something to do with it here. What actually happened to Chris there? Did have one more lap to try and complete. He made that late.
Way up.
Oh, okay. This is going to be exciting. Let's have a look and see
What's happening here? This is on Jacqueline.
I'm not sure. I don't know if Dixon really knew which way to go there. And then he just does this. Oh, there we go. That's what it looks like from the inside of a Clio going upside down, everyone. Well, there we go. Mark, that was an interesting one. Is Dixon crossed the line? I think might have done. The results are in. So we can have a look at the results here as well. Oh, blimey, mate. There you go.
Pete Newman finished 5th.
Steve Burns is your winner in pros with Charles Kellerman winning the AMS 2nd overall. Roger Morton, wow, he's had an absolutely stellar job there, and Kellerman did an absolutely incredible job as well. Morton in 2nd of the pros. Johnson comes across the line in 4th there, Mark. He was 7th at one point. Pete Newman 5th, Alan McCain 6th, Duncan Murray 7th, Carl Ridley 8th, Danny Kazar is 2nd in the AMS, Dan Mould 10th, Lee Deemer 11th, Sam Van Olst 12th, Parker Steele 13th, and Stuart Gibbons comes across the line. That's 3 podiums out of 3 for Stuart Gibbons this evening. Paul Goddard in 15th, Sam Smith 16th, Martin Sampson 17th, Mini P wraps out the top 18 there, Mark. He was up, how many places was he up? Up 3 places. Absolutely stellar job there as well. Then beyond that, we've got Mark Chappell, Carl Hardy, Derek Craver, Wayne Palmer, David Ayres, Alan Toon, Dan Lewis, Andy Littler, Rob Williams, and Carl Jacqueline. And then from that, we've got Chris Dixon, Chris Barnes, and Jason Haddington. Well, That has just been absolutely unbelievable. And we are joined in the booth, as I expected us to be joined in the booth, by one Mr. Roger Morton. Good evening, Mr. Morton. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you two?
Oh, well, we've just watched an incredible end to race 3. And if you have not seen it, I suggest you go and have a look because it was rather eventful.
Well, I've not had time yet to see it yet. I've literally just come out of it. So, but yeah, I definitely will do.
Yeah, it definitely was a good ending. Okay, so race 2, you were on pole.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, Jono Johnson thought he would come and join you into the side of you. But race 3 went a bit better for you.
Yes, it did. I was hoping to get Charles, but I kept getting involved with people behind me slowing me down and everything else, and it just, I'm happy with third though. I really am. It was a good result.
Overall,
better than last week when you started on the front row, eh?
Yeah, that's where I was going next, Mark.
Yes, mate. At least I had somebody else to blame for when I got took out in race 2. Yeah, definitely.
It was a fairly hefty hit as well, wasn't it? I bet that's one of those where you don't even realise it's happened until you're sat in the medical centre with the gas and air on.
Yeah, probably, mate. Yeah, it wasn't a nice one, mate. Yeah, for sure. But no, I think the track felt good. I just sort of felt good the other day when I was doing this layout, and I love Sebring as it is. James, I keep banging on about doing endurance races through them, and I was a bit dubious about this layout, but I got to be honest, it's a fun little layout. It's hard to pass, but it's so fun. It really is.
Yeah,
I was finding it hard to pass anyway. I don't know about others.
Yeah, I think there was a few people struggled as well. We're going on to Snetterton 200 next week, Rog. What do you reckon how that one's going to turn out?
Snet 200, yeah, it could be another similar sort of scenario to this. Big long straight, for a bit of drafting and some good corners. Yeah, it's I've not done a lot on Snet to be fair, so it'd be good to go back there again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Morton. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I would like to thank Mark before the race. He helped me out massively. I hope I did you proud from that little few things that you went through with me.
It was noted, wasn't it, James?
It was.
The adverse line, we'll say.
Yeah.
Compared to everybody else.
So a big shout out to Simfly Driver Development.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roger.
Yeah. So to them boys, yeah, definitely. If you want some guidance, and go to them boys.
Well, I feel a lot of love going on up here in the booth. I feel like a third wheel currently at the moment on a date. I'm not going to lie. But Rog, it's been a pleasure having you in the booth, young sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll look at catching you up soon.
Yeah, mate. Take care.
All right, next up, we have got one Mr. Paul Godden, the primary sponsor here from Simstickers, who is sponsoring this Clio season as well. Welcome in, Paul. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks.
How was your evening overall?
Overall, it was all right. It wasn't great, and it wasn't bad. It was the first race. Unfortunately, I come across a car that was damaged and stationary in the middle of the track, and they turned right at the last minute to pull out the way of the cars going to the left, but I'd already committed to the inside, so I ended up hitting the grass and hitting the barrier. And obviously, with a new damage model, I ripped the front off, and that was it. That was race 1 pretty much over. So it's just a case of just going round and seeing if I can pick up any places. Race 2, that was a little bit better. Trying to fight. I knew I had to try and keep around, try and get 20th if I could, with 8-9 places made up. And in the end, I think I managed to make it by about 3 or 4 places. So that was a good little race. And then race 3 was I'm just watching it back now to see what happened. I don't really know what happened. It was 1 minute I was 4th, and next minute I was a couple of laps later back in 12th. And bashed around a bit like a pinball, but it's good fun.
Yeah, it definitely was. You had some contact with Haddington and Sampson in race 2. As to say, race 3, it was a little bit hit and miss. There was I'm not going to lie, Paul, there was a lot going on in race 3. People were battling literally all the way through the field, and yeah, it was very, very eventful. But, you know, on to Snetterton 200 we go, the short track of Snetterton. What do you think? What's your chances then, Paul?
It's not a track I've done a lot of running at, but I've never really got on with Snetterton any layout at Snetterton. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just put some laps in the week and see if I can get a bit of pace out of the car, because tonight I really lacked pace around here. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it was in the setup somewhere, to be honest. But yeah, I just have to put a few hours in and yeah, try and find a bit of pace ready for next race, and yeah, learn what I've done in this one and move on to the next, pretty much.
Definitely there. Well, Paul, thanks so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, just yourself and Mark for the great broadcast, and obviously all the admin team behind the scenes making it a great series. And obviously, I'll always like to thank all the drivers for turning out each week and yeah, racing hard and mainly fair and clean throughout the night to make it a really enjoyable race for everyone. So
awesome stuff. Well, Paul, thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Snetterton.
Cheers, guys.
Take care. All right, next up in the waiting room for a chat, I believe for the first time this season, if I'm not wrong, the man who finished the lead in the AMS in second overall, Mr. Charles Kellerman in race 3. Charles, that was a little bit of a rough one, wasn't it? Race 3? It seems to be a lot going on behind you.
Yeah. Do you know, I was saying to Martin and Carl in my team that I hadn't practiced and I didn't even have a setup for tonight. And I said I was just going to toot along at the back and just enjoy it. You know, it's just a bit of fun. Yeah, I don't know what happened in race 2, but my cars were just flying past me like I was stood still. Didn't make any setup changes for race 3, but for some reason it just seemed to grip up, and don't get me wrong, I'm not passed or anything. I think I was in the high 13s, low 14s, but it was just enough in race 3 to keep me slightly ahead of Roger. I had a great race with him.
Yeah, great run down to the line. You finished in front by 0.09 of a second.
Wow. Okay, I'll need to watch that back later. It was a very good race with Roger. I've had numerous good races with him, so I'm quite comfortable with him. He came off track a couple of times and lost a second and a half, and then half a lap later he's on my tail again. So I'm not sure what he's got under his engine, but yeah, it's certainly working for him.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. But Charles, overall, how was the evening for you? Because 3 races and it's all been, well, there was just battles all the way through, to be honest. And how was it for you sitting back during them races and looking and seeing what's going on?
Well, you know me, James. I'd sit back and watch what goes on. Race 1, I made up places for other people crashing, and that's normally how I make up places. Like I say, I come in tonight with no expectations, really. I just wanted to come in and have a bit of fun. I've not raced for a few weeks for personal circumstances, and I thought just come in, just have a bit of fun with the guys, and absolutely blown away with my result in race 3. I could see Dan Mould closing the gap lap after lap after lap, and I thought he's just going to fly past me soon. I'm not quite sure if he was battling or what, but I managed to keep ahead of the really fast guys and come away with I think it was the AM win, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
must have been. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the AM win as well. I will say you do have pro decals on your car as well, Mr. Kellerman.
I'll change that next week. That's probably from last season. Sorry.
That's all right. No worries at all. Charles, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the team, Optical Green. They've been very supportive under the circumstances. You guys for yet again a fantastic broadcast. I know it's fantastic even before I watched it, and I am going to watch it later. And yeah, all the organisers behind the scenes as well. Great job. Thank you very much.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much there, Charles, for joining us, and I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow night.
Yes, probably.
Take care, bud.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you go, Mark. We have wrapped up another evening of racing, and I think you've got to admit, Sebring Short Man, I think iRacing should let us pick the calendar, Mark. We'd have a stellar calendar, wouldn't we, for the iRacing officials?
Yeah, fantastic evenings racing. Some great performances from everybody. Obviously, shout out to Derek Crowther for his 2 wins in the AM, and obviously, yeah, as we just heard, Charles Kellerman ecstatic. You know, it's all about that. He didn't win the race overall, but won his class, and it's the same thing. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Stephen Burns, obviously, for winning and Binnett, keeping them hopefully somewhere near the top of the team championship. Yeah, good race 3 for him as well. So yeah, fantastic evening. Not too much carnage apart from that. Yeah, everybody raced into that line in that last race, but it's fantastic to hear such a positive environment that we've got here, and yeah, everybody loves the racing.
And they definitely do as well. And it was an absolutely stellar evening of racing. Everybody done an absolutely incredible job. So, and then obviously the ending, which was just, I'm not even sure how these guys ended up where they ended up, to be honest, but there was a lot of things going on before, which rounded off the end of the race. And I think, that was where the initial move come from. I think it was Parker Steele and Dan Mould, and then Duncan Murray coming involved in there as well. And then they've made contact. Here comes Stuart Gibbons, like an absolute rocket. Dan Mould comes to the left. Gibbo's already heading there as well, and they're leaning on each other. And that is how, Mark, that all started.
We're watching about 11 different crashes here. It's quite interesting to watch. And then obviously that's how Newman and Johnson made up so many places. They just drove around the outside of everybody. But yeah, but to be fair, a fun, fantastic end to the race. But yeah, obviously just rubbing doors, and then as we saw, Gibbons had nowhere to go when the 2 cars in front of him were side by side and pretty much blocking the track.
Yeah, they definitely were. All right, guys, and that has brought the broadcast to an end. Thank you so much for joining myself and Mark Fletcher. We're off to Snetterton next week, but don't forget, we have got the GT4s coming up this week, haven't we, Mark? That may involve one commentator that we know so well, sir.
It is, yes. Yeah, we head to Spa. Looking to carry on how I've started the season. Obviously, myself and Hedge flying the colours for the team. But yeah, and again, another fantastic series. Battles all the way out. Catch that Wednesday evening. That's always good fun to watch. And cheer on the altitude boys. I don't know who races for them.
Definitely not there as well. Like little modesty from Mr. Mark Fletcher there. But guys, that has brought us to the end. Catch me later on for the LSRL GT3 if you're still awake at 2 a.m. in the morning. But from myself and Mark Fletcher up here in the booth, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.